Okay, check, 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 check. About to get started. What's up, people? Um, let's get going. Excited to get started today. Let's just get into it. I yesterday, yesterday. Today is my birthday. So getting old, y'all. Getting old. But all things considered, it was a good year. Got a birthday greeting from my grandma this morning, and she was telling me, just recapping the year and saying that she was grateful that, the people that we know have, made it more or less, made it through COVID 2020 relatively unscathed. Like, I know a lot of people were suffering this year, but the people and a lot of people that we're close to, they had their challenges, but not as bad as some other people. So it's a lot to be grateful for, a lot to be thankful for this year, all things considered. Some good things have happened. Once again, of course, it was a kind of a messed up year for a lot of people, but that's how it goes sometimes. That's how life is. But we made it. We're almost in 2020, 2021, and let's just hope it's a year of recovery, growth and recovery. That's all you can really hope for. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but let's just hope that it's a good year and things turn out for the better. But I'm not complaining. I'm very fortunate to have had the year that I had. None of my family has been sick, which is really awesome. I know a lot of people, their families have been affected by COVID. I know people, well, I don't know them, but I know of people who have friends and relatives and things of that nature, people like that have passed away from COVID. Had a lot of celebrities that passed from COVID. Debo. I don't know the man's name. Debo. That's what he's known as, his character. Debo from Friday, he passed away. It's kind of whack, but he died from COVID. I thought he was healthy. That's how it goes. Anyway, just some morning reflection. I don't mean to be morbid, but once again, all things considered, I have my health, my family's healthy, so it was a good year. It was a good year for me and mine. Got a hit of my friend. He has the same birthday as me. Also, usually this time of year, I have a birthday party, and I invite all the people, all my loved ones. It's usually a good time. We have a lot of fun, but we're not able to do that this year. Maybe next year. Yeah. these morning paintings have been really helpful. Just getting better at drawing and seeing what I'm doing. I actually attempted to do an oil painting the other day and I failed miserably. And so, it happens. It happens. I think, I don't know what happened. I just either wasn't focused, I wasn't in the zone, I just wasn't seeing the colors right, wasn't seeing the tones right. Um, and there was some anxiety around. I was painting on a pretty big canvas, 30 by 40, which is I painted that size for the last one I did, and it came out okay. But the painting came out a little bit too tight. I want my paintings to be a little bit looser, and the irony is that I want them to be loose, like the digital paintings that I make. And the irony of that is people try to paint digitally so that it looks like a traditional painting. So I don't know what happened there. It just didn't work out for me. But that's life. I was a little down because it just didn't go the way that I wanted it to. And I know that sounds silly and trivial, but if you're an artist, you know what I'm talking about. You had high hopes for a piece, and you went into it with excitement, and you're like, yeah, it's gonna be hot, it's gonna be fire, and then and then it goes horribly, horribly wrong, and I just couldn't. I spent all day on it. I spent more than one day. I actually started the day before, and I got so frustrated with it that I just left it alone, and then I came back to it the next day, and I'm like on Instagram, and I'm getting excited because I'm seeing like my favorite painters, and I'm like, I could do that, and I get like super excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna work on this thing, and then you just fail again. You just fail again. I guess it's unrealistic. I haven't really oil painted in a long time, and some of my best work. Oh, and that's another thing that happened. I started like when I felt down about the work that I was doing. I was looking at some of my older oil paintings that I felt that came out really well, and then I'm like, yeah, like I know I'm capable. Like I know I have the knowledge and the know-how to do it. So I got excited again, and so I went back to work on it again, and then I failed some more. And the reality is, when I was working on those other ones, I was painting every single day. Like I was oil painting nonstop, daily. And I was on my own Instagram, and you only tend to post your most successful pieces. So I'm looking like at my own successful pieces and like feeling bad that I'm not creating at that level. So I guess I FOMO'd my own self, and it's silly because I know that I was only posting my very, very best work, and yet I still got bamboozled. I still got by my own work. And so it's funny now that I could say it. I could talk about it now, but it didn't feel good at the time. And so I guess it's a lesson. Like don't be looking at people's Instagram, not even your own, because you think you see their best work, and you're like, man, that's great, that's amazing, that's awesome. And you start to feel bad about your own work. And if you could do that to yourself, if I could do that to myself, just imagine looking at someone else's work that you don't know, and that you don't see their failures, you don't see their challenges that they had to go through to get to their best work. So that's a lesson that I had to learn, and it's sad because I should know. I know this, in theory, I know this. I know this in theory, but I still got God. I got my own self, which is absurd. It's absurd when you think about it, but that's how it is. It's really doesn't make any sense for that to happen to me. It doesn't make any sense. But it's how it is. You can trick your own self. Anyway, so here we are. This is after. I think that's also why I didn't do a live stream yesterday, because I was digital painting, and the goal was to be able to maybe live stream my oil session, but that didn't work. So, you know, I didn't have the proper equipment, proper setup. Um, so maybe one day in the future I'll be able to do that. And I'm glad I didn't. Or maybe it would have pushed me, like, you know, if I knew that I was streaming to the world, maybe it would have pushed me to like really, you know, go above and beyond and get it done. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. You just never know how these things work. So, I learned a lot. I guess the plus side to that failure is that, you know, with all your failures, you learn important lessons. I guess that's my silver lining. You learn different techniques. You learn what's not working. You get a better grasp on your materials. Try to get a better grasp. I think you get a better grasp on your materials. You know what doesn't work. You know what is working. You know what to work on the next time. So once again, I'm not gonna act like, you know, it was all peaches and cream. It was really sucky when it was happening. But you know, I can look at it now and be like, okay, this was a learning experience. And you know, I can just grow from this and just keep it moving. Just keep it moving. But it did feel like that at the time. Ay. Alright, I think I got the basic structure of the face. It's not perfect, but you know, I could go in and refine it, get the shapes right, get the tones right. Just keep working on it. And I'm still using 100% opacity. Trying to use the biggest brush I can use to really get the big shapes in, get the big blocks of color. That's how you define the form. And then, you know, gradually go up and start working on the highlights. That's the cool thing about digital painting. Like, I can just click. So say this part in her nose, the bridge of her nose, I can just click the color and then just lighten it up just a little bit, and I'll have a perfect variation of that color, which is something that, you know, you cannot do in oil painting. I guess you can do it to a certain extent, but not in a major way. It's like you have to know where the color on your palette is, and then you just lighten it or darken it or add more red or add more blue or whatever. You know, there's I guess there's not that many ways. You can lighten it, you can darken it, you can make it cool, or you can make it warm. And so those are the things that you can do with oil painting. And so yeah, I guess it's the same. Alright, let's flip this. See what we're working with here. It's okay. Yeah. So it's definitely it's definitely easier to do in a digital painting. I can't lie about that. But you know, trying to get the angle of our face correct. now I'm just going in and like kind of refining the shapes. Yeah, so um, yeah. I hope YouTube doesn't flag me. All right, let's see how much time I have left on my timer, and that will determine whether I go in a little bit closer. So try to stay further out until put in at least 25 minutes of work. And save this to see how much time I have on my timer. Let's see here. I have 8 minutes left. I'm gonna go in. I've been working on this. I'm gonna zoom in and work a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, got disconnected. It'll come back, right? Got disconnected. Let's see if it comes back. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. Should be. Do I have to end the stream and do it again? That's whack. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm back. Alright, let's finish this out. Lost my pressure sensitivity. Let's just bring it down there. Bring my flow down so I can continue to paint. That's the cool thing about this. My limousine, yeah, yeah, rag on me. I wish I could listen to music. YouTube be tripping. They don't want you listening to music. Copyright infringement reasons. I guess they gotta protect themselves, but geez Louise, it would make my videos so much more interesting. Too much of, I want it to stay loose, nice and, I think I got my pressure sensitivity back. Yeah, I'm using a lot of blue, even though it's the blue is very blue is very subtle in this piece. It's like a bluish greenish color in the shadow areas, but I'm still using it because I think it looks cool, and I think it gives a little dimension. It's more of like a teal situation happening, so I'm gonna use those. I'm gonna try to use those for the highlights. Teal or purple. I don't know, I just think it looks good against people with deeper complexions. Looks fire. Looks cool. too much into the details here because we want to just imply what's going on. Not be too crazy. All those curls. Baby hairs. Okay. These ears drawn. It's like an earring. Got a little bling. Just got a little. She has like some lip gloss on. Okay. Alright, so bring this a little more. There is my neck. Something like this. Some gray going on. Let's probably add a little bit of color there. Not a lot. See, when I'm oil painting, sometimes I could just add those pops of color and then like kind of blend it in lately, just like with a light touch. But I just been out of practice, and used to be. I guess I just have more control than I do now. A lot more control. But just gotta keep practicing. I'll get it back. I'll get it back. Too light. Let's bring it down just a little bit. My first bell. First bell. First timer letting me know that Yeah, it's like this. It's like a never-ending battle of like putting information and pulling some of it back because you don't want it to be too crazy, too overwhelming. It's trying to find, it's trying to strike up that perfect balance of too much information and not enough information. Because they say our eyes can only pick up on so much at a time, and it's a painting. It's not a photograph, and we just want to imply where certain things are and just kind of hint at what we're looking at. Let's zoom out. Oh, okay, it's not bad. Oh yeah, it's not bad. It passes the flip test. It looks proportional no matter which side you flip it on, so that's always good. Let's keep working on her lips. More purple. Like a really dark purple, and then they eyes like this. Cause her lip gloss is popping. She has some really serious lip gloss happening here. She has a little bit of a cleft in her chin. Let's see if we can simulate that. We can get that cleft. Man, I really enjoyed doing these. It's a lot of fun. I always like do better with people with really, really dark skin tones. It's funny because I feel like there are a lot of tutorials out there on how to draw people with dark skin tones, but for me, like, it's I rather paint that because it's like I guess it's the opposite. It's the opposite way of thinking. Um, it's like more subtle changes in the skin, but I enjoy that part about painting. And I think the challenges with what happens with people when they paint people with darker skin is that they go too light. They go too light, and it's not believable. It's like you gotta go dark, and then like really bring up the tones gradually, because a good part of her face is in shadow, and that's what I like about it. This is that's the fun of these. It's the fun, those puffs. Yeah, it's good. Let's work on her this area a little bit. It's a little off. But yeah, it's I think that's the allure for me. I really, that's what I enjoy about doing drawing people with darker skin. Look at those tones. It's just so pretty. Tones, man, the tones. Yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of tutorials online how to paint black people, how to paint. I'm like, wow, That's crazy. I mean, I guess it makes sense because I guess if you're in our school, they don't teach you how to paint black people. I don't know, whatever. I think it should be all the same. I think it's like a similar phenomenon where people go to beauty school and you know people distinguish between quote unquote black hair or white hair, which I don't believe in. Hair is hair. It's just that either you know how to deal with this type of hair, which should be included in your repertoire because it's hair. Um, it's like a plumber who only knows how to work with copper pipes and doesn't know how to work with PVC piping or whatever. It's like you wouldn't get hired as a plumber. Um, but you know, there's reasons behind why there's no emphasis on darker skin tones. You know, we won't get into the political aspect of it here, but y'all know what it is. And so I was going on a rant. I forgot what point I was trying to make. What I'm trying to make is fun. It is fun painting people with darker skin tones, and it's still putting down color and tone where it's supposed to be. So, you know, if you have trouble painting dark skinned people, you might just need to practice because it's no different than painting something else. I think maybe people imbue their political feelings onto it, and so they think it's harder or more difficult. If you were painting an object, a neutral object, you would just paint the colors that you see, and you wouldn't imbue any personal feelings onto it. And I think that's the challenge when painting skin tones. People put their put their own personal whatever's onto it, and they don't paint what they see, or they paint what they think they see, which is not what's actually there, because maybe they haven't spent a lot of time observing the colors. You know, in black people, they just say, "Oh, black people, that means they're brown," and that's it. But no, it's not that simple. There are a lot of subtle, wonderful, beautiful nuances in the skin, and if you're an artist, you should be able to paint them flat out. Nothing else to say about that. I think this is coming to an end. I think I did good. I painted this in record time. I did not think that this would go down so easily. Maybe it's my birthday present to myself for the struggles that I had yesterday, because I was definitely on the struggle bus, trying to paint yesterday with oil. It was a hard battle, which left me defeated. And I just had to take that loss, which, you know, from an optimistic standpoint, was not a loss because I learned something. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I'm just kidding. I learned something. Ooh-wee. Okay, I think I am done. If only I could do this on demand with oil. Oh my goodness. It would be over, nobody will be able to tell me nothing. Acting, I would be price probably for the best. I don't know how it would be if I could paint this quickly, this efficiently with the oil. Which just takes a long time. One day, just gotta keep working with it. Just gonna put that there. It's not really there, but I think it could look cool. Alright, let's see. Let's get some. Make her bling shine a little bit. Let's get some glisten. Just a little bit. Some white really make it shine. Okay. I think that's it. That was a quick one. I'm proud of myself. Yeah, it's a quick one. Straight to it. It's done. Don't need to do anymore. It's finished. I came to do what I had to do and I did it. Now there's nothing left. Alright. Like that. Real cool. Alright, that's it. I'm done. I'm not doing no more. This is good. I'm happy with how this came out. No complaints. I did it. I didn't mess it up. Let's keep going. Let's bring this down. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go with the curve. I'm trying to paint with the curve of the lips so it gives it more of a, so it looks more curved. Yeah. Alright, that's good enough. I risk it becoming too tight and losing the the flow. I don't want it to get too tight. Yeah, this is good. Really enough. Okay, save it, and I'm out. Thank you guys for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. I was able to redeem myself from yesterday's oil painting failure. I am very happy with how this turned out. I got the details. I think it looks cool. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.